what's rarer? A McLaren F1 GTR Longtail or a McLaren Senna GTR? In today's video, I'll be answering this question by driving 5 insane unobtainable cars that you'll probably never see in game. Stay tuned to find out which car is the rarest in Midnight Chasers. Starting off with the pretty rare Senna GTR Richard Mille that came out with only 500 units. This car was made specifically for the older owners of the Senna GTR, the original one that sold 3.1 thousand units, and this one only 500. It costed around $4.3 million back then, and yeah, it's definitely an expensive car, but for a good damn reason. All right, let's hear how it sounds first before driving it real quick. Sounds like a normal, McLaren V8 twin turbo. Let me hear it. Yeah, this thing's also pretty damn quick, man. I did not expect it to be this quick. I think before a recent update, both Senna GTRs were pretty damn slow in acceleration, so it was actually really funny to drive, but now it's way better, and I think even handles way better. And look at that, even has active aero whenever you touch the brakes. Let me just be careful and not crash like I always do in my videos. I don't really know the times it does in like GP, but I'm guessing it's like a pretty good competitor for the FXX-K Evo that now is probably one of the fastest cars on not MotoGP, but Grand Prix on salt flats. There we go, that's the word. I think this car came out in 2024, but instead of yapping, let me just show you the interior real quick. Man, I absolutely love how mean this thing looks, man. Like, many people really dislike this humongous wing it has on the back of it, but I personally absolutely love it because it just fits the whole design of the car. But just check out the interior, okay? This was made in 2024, and I think it was 3D modeled, because there are indeed some little imperfections. And as always, the illuminated little, buttons and stuff that you can see even in the dark. And this little dashboard thing for the, for everything, the gear, the RPM. And man, I absolutely love this thing, dude. But I think we've spoken enough about this car. Let's get into another very expensive McLaren, which is the F1 GTR Longtail, a $25 million hypercar from the 1990s that is absolutely super rare. Around 250 units were sold. But yeah, let me just check out the sound of it real quick. Okay, that's a little calm little startup, but I don't think that's enough, you know what I mean? There's not much I can say, but it sounds very odd. Yeah, it sounds like a dying mosquito. Okay, let me just stop revving that. But hey man, at least it handles pretty damn well, just from what I saw there. I mean, it's a very sensitive, car, so if I even tap the A or D keys, my car will indeed fly into the other direction immediately. And man, I really wish I even had this, because this is definitely a flex, man. I have to be honest, I would just be flexing it. Because do I really like F1s? No. But look how, oh my gosh, look how good it looks, man. Also, I think this competed in Le Mans and won a shit ton of races, so just imagine how much aura this car even has. But yeah, let me just park it, make you guys see the levels of detail this car doesn't have. So this is indeed a pretty old model. Alright, just from the outside, you can definitely see this is pretty old. Thanks to the headlights, they kind of just look like, I don't know, flashlights. Yeah, not headlights. That's pretty, they look a bit funny, man. They look silly. First thing you do notice once you enter the car is that there are no side seats. It's just the seat in the middle, and none of these body panels are openable. So you're basically just stuck inside of a big brick. And yeah, the steering wheel and the side console have all of these buttons, like the start button, the pump and ignition one, the fuel reset, all of that. Very nice in the interior. It's like not the best, not the worst. It's fine. Definitely not comparable to the good models we have now, especially because it doesn't even have an engine inside of it. So it basically just runs on your hopes and dreams. So yeah, I think it's now time to head inside of another very long hypercar, aka the Pagani Revolution Barchetta, a $10 million hypercar in game that came out in December of 2023, specifically on the 29th, and goodness gracious, this thing is absolutely sick. I really love this car. I've already said this like 3 times now. I've seen this even in real life, so I have to love it even more. And let me just make you guys hear the sound of this beast real quick. Also, the first thing you do notice before even entering the car is that nothing can be opened, unfortunately. You know, I wish I could even see the engine down there, or like the radiators or intercoolers in front of here. Okay, so the sound is already pretty good. You know, like the startup, but dude, it revs so quickly. Also, I think this is the only car in game that shoots out these type of flames. I think that this is the first time I've even noticed that. Okay, so it's not really the quickest at accelerating, and it doesn't really handle the best. Hey man, it's definitely just a driving experience, man, you know? In game, it has around 607 horsepower, much less than the other cars that I've reviewed earlier that have like 800 to like 650 horsepower. Oh wow, but yeah, this thing is definitely very fast though. I think the top speed is like 220 or something. It's kind of crazy speeds for a car with no roof, by the way, like nothing. But yeah, around 200 units were even sold back in 2023. I don't even know who had that kind of money back then, to be honest, but if you did, then you really did not have a life. I'm gonna be honest. Dude, I'm starting to actually get good at this game. After like a year of playing it, I think I'm starting to get decently good. Time to check out the interior though. Let's check out the detail of this car, and as always, it has all these, you know, Pagani underpinnings that, you know, are made out of leather and stuff, and the amazing interior with the super innovative RPM inside of the steering wheel. Why is that there? I don't know, but it's pretty damn cool, honestly. And as always, the speedometer right behind the steering wheel, the center console that has, you know, all the buttons for the ignition, battery switch, startup, all of that. The seats are also pretty detailed. They have these little racing harnesses. Also, I think this car has DRS, but in the game, it doesn't really have that. But yeah, now it's time to enter a car that, you know, is a bit more family orientated. And that car is the C63S Brabus AMG. But before I show you that, guess what? You have to like and subscribe. Let's go. Okay, so here we are inside of the Brabus with a Christmas tree right on top of the back. Absolutely super cool. Even with this little ribbon, I believe, on top of the roof. I don't know how it's connected to it, but who cares? And even this little, you know, Rudolph thing on the front. I think this car came out in December of 2023 on the 22nd, so 3 days before Christmas. It was basically an unofficial Christmas event. I guess they just dropped this car with 200 units that I think only 10 people have now. Like 10 to 20, you know, and it's like most people that actually had this car did get banned or just quit Roblox. Dude, this thing sounds super interesting, and it handles like dog shit. Oh my days. Like I actually have to brake before even trying to turn around these little cars, bro. Oh damn. I don't think these drift tires are really helping me out. Wait, look at that. Yo, wait. Nah, wait, this might be so... Okay. See, this just ruined my phone right there. And here we are. Dude, this has a pretty decent interior for being from 2023. Like, is this even comparable to the stuff we have now? Not really, but it's still pretty good, honestly. There are all the buttons. I think this car was also imported from some other game, but it doesn't really look like it, because this really looks super 3D modeled, but I don't think it was. This technically should be in first place, but in first place there is an even rarer and probably one of the most forgotten limited ever to be added into this game, which is the ultra rare 1967 67 oh my god, wait, 67 330 P4. This is an insanely rare car in the game, and it's also super expensive. $15.5 million type of expensive. This car came out in around April of 2024, and yeah, there's only I think 43 left in the game, and 50 units around that were sold. So just imagine how rare it is to even have two of them right in front of me. Owned by the same guy, by the way. He's like, I don't know how he even did this, but this is crazy. I absolutely love old Ferraris, by the way. This is one of the many inspirations of the Daytona SP3. So, you know, if you just check out this, you know, the lines of this compared to the modern Daytona SP3, you can definitely see many similarities, especially in the interior as well. You just hear how this sounds though. This raced obviously in the Mans against the Ford GT. It was an insane battle back then. Was I alive? Hell no. But yeah, this also accelerates pretty quickly. But yeah, after the 100 miles per hour mark, it starts being a little bit slower. Dude, I've actually never driven this before. Like, I remember seeing this in Forza. And never thought like a Roblox game would even add one of these. So it's pretty sick to even see. But I think the reflections kind of ruined the look of it. And check out how cool the interior is, man. Okay, so I'm not the type of guy that says, oh, old cars were better, old cars were better. But man, I understand why them unks, those old ass people say that older cars were better. When I like, this looks sick, okay? Okay, anyways, I think it's time to show off the interior real quick. I'm already in here, I'm already showing you it, but you know, this is a little sneak peek, a little teaser. And as always, this does not have openable doors or anything. A thing you can see is the wheel right underneath the rear hood. And this is the interior. It's just basically like a big egg with a super big windshield. Just look how big that is. The seats are also pretty intricate, but I think this was also just like a 3D model that they did not make themselves back then. Actually, no, I don't know, because this was made in 2024, so I'm not sure of that, but I do like it. Even the speedometer just looks so Italian. I absolutely love it. It even shows the aqua, or the, I think, the coolant. Yeah, the coolant, and the that's the oil. That's cool. If I were even to rate cars in this video, I definitely give this a 10 out of 10. So, you know, if you like this video, please consider liking or subscribing. And if you don't want to, that's perfectly fine. Hope you enjoy the video. Jesus loves you. Bye-bye.
I got a bad bitch with a fat wrist and a love for Stacksville. I do the drift on some new tires, turn them bitches to past tense. I got a crib where the other cribs sit on acres and gated fence. Yes,